Did you ever have these Lilo and Stitch Play-Doh toys from McDonald's? These were in your Happy Meal in 2004 to promote the Disney TV show Lilo and Stitch the series, with each toy being a different way to play with Play-Doh, and I have the whole set right here. Let's check them out. First up is what they call Rude Stitch, and each has a double-sided experiment stamp at the bottom, with this having experiment 606, Polio, who turns into a black hole and sucks up everything around it, which I gotta say seems a bit extreme compared to some of the others I remember. And then on the other side is experiment 007, Gigi, who is a dog. And each toy also comes with the mini tub of Play-Doh, which what does that look like over 20 years later? Not great. But here's what he looks like with some fresh dough sticking out his tongue. Then up next is Lilo, the Play-Doh turning into her hula skirt, and the stamp being experiment 375, Phantasmo, who can take possession of inanimate objects, and experiment 025, Topper, who gives off intense light. Then another Stitch that they call Changing Stitch, because the Play-Doh acts like his extra arms and antenna. And the stamp here is experiment 520, Cannonball, designed to make tsunamis in bodies of water, and experiment 221, Sparky, who produces electricity. Then here's the X-Buggy, that is actually a mold of who I think is supposed to be experiment 222, Poxy, who gets people sick. And the stamp is experiment 258, Sample, who records and replays endless loops to drive people crazy. And then this one says it's experiment 354, but it's actually experiment 345, Elastico, whose body is extra elastic. Not sure really what went wrong there. Then up next is Jumba, who has a mold of experiment 625 with his sandwich. And the experiments here are 390, Slimy, who produces slippery slime, and experiment 228, Melty, who can melt any solid object. Then lastly here is Pleakley, which squeezes out Play-Doh on top of his head to act as one of his famous wigs, with experiment 625, the famous sandwich maker, and 604, Houdini, who can make both himself and other items disappear and reappear. You know, opening these I thought they would be kinda lame, but I'm actually pretty impressed with them. The actual figures are really well made, and the integration of the Play-Doh to actually be another real aspect of the character is really well thought out. Plus the attention to detail of adding a dozen of the experiments here is a nice little Easter egg to the show. But let me know in the comments if you ever had any of these, and make sure to follow for more nostalgia content.